Hello and welcome to Chasing Green Arrows. This is the Champions League final edition. We'll be reviewing the Champions League final. It was an exciting game. It was just 1-0. Was expecting more goals, but really exciting game. I have with me Mr. Abrar Aziz, my co-host. How are you doing?
Good, good. How are you? Another review, another prediction gone wrong for me.
Yeah, same here. We
Gone
both went
horribly
PSG.
wrong.
Yeah, we both went PSG. I have Mr. Zoher. What's up, buddy? Welcome back.
What's up? What's up? Thank you so much. First of all, just want to say rest in peace, Kobe. It's Mamba Day today, 8/24.
Nice. And yeah, Mr. Yusuf Ismail, Bhaiya, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, man. Thanks for having me.
Oh, it's always a pleasure. And so I just wanted to, let's get into this game. PSG, Bayern, a huge clash. Bayern take it. It was just 1-0, but a lot of chances. Don, I'll go with you first. Your thoughts on the game initially, and just a brief review.
Yeah, like you said, I think I expected more goals because I honestly thought that both the defenses were shaky going into the game, and these teams have scored decent amount of goals coming into the tournament, coming into the quarterfinals and semifinals and so on and so forth. So I expected more, but maybe because of the nerves and them not wanting to like give in too much, they probably played a little bit more subdued. I would want to say, and PSG didn't take their chances in the first half, and Bayern came out as a completely different team, especially defensively in the second half. They were really strong, they were really compact, and they had a very good defensive performance. They just wanted to close the game out and win it, and they ended up doing that. And hats off to Bayern, man. They needed this win, and it must do them a world of good now. And they were the deserving team to have won the Champions League. Well played throughout the especially after the lockdown, especially after that 8-2 Barca thrashing. I think they deserved it the most.
Yeah.
So,
but I'll go to you. Like a lot of people were keeping Bayern as favorites, but you could see in yesterday's game, especially, there were some weaknesses there, like which PSG couldn't exploit. But there was a chance for PSG to go up in this game, especially the likes of Mbappe missing a chance, even Neymar. So were you expecting this result, and did you feel that, were you thinking that Bayern would be favorites going into this game?
I think after beating Barcelona 8-2, you could argue that they'd be favorites, but this was PSG's first time in a European final, I think. So I came into it with no expectation actually as to who was going to win. It would be very close, and there were definitely moments I think with Mbappe and Neymar, and there was that chance I think where Mbappe did some crazy moves in the box, and then the guy had to just like kick it in, and he missed it. So like I think Bayern dominated, especially parts of the second half, but I think PSG could have easily scored one or two. But I think in the end, the vibe you got from the entire game was that Bayern are deserving winners. You can't say that, oh, PSG were unlucky. You don't have that vibe coming. So they're deserving winners, but it could have gone either way. PSG could have at least scored one, maybe two, because at some points the game was very open, back to back from both ends. So yeah, it's unexpected. It's not unexpected, but it's a fair result.
Yeah, and Zohar, the first half was like end-to-end stuff, but there's probably something there in the halftime meeting with especially Bayern. The second half defensive display was absolutely outstanding, and I think after they scored the goal, they probably took control of the game, even though PSG had chances, but not those number of chances like we saw in the first half.
For sure. I think you know what you got to give a shout out to Hansi Flick. What a manager! Where he's been able to take them from where they were, given the fact that as of now, having won the Champions League, this is a treble. This is a continental treble season for Bayern. And when you think when Niko Kovac was fired, they were a couple of points or a couple of places off the top of the table, weren't really going anywhere, lost the first two games with Hansi Flick in charge as well. So very, lack of direction, aimless. And to come back and rebound in this sort of form, I think this Bayern team has been all about the adjustments that they made throughout the season, the adjustments that they made throughout games. And I think today, the Champions League final that we got to watch was the perfect example of all of those attributes on display. You got to see the reinvention of a team that's, been so used to success in the Bundesliga that sometimes it's hard to find that winning combination on an international stage, that winning combination on a knockout stage when you don't have the luxury of multiple games to get it right. Just to see the way that Bayern was able to take advantage of their strengths and abilities, really find that focus and take advantage, I'd say, of the inexperience that PSG has on the stage. They made it to the final, and I think that's worthy of respect. It's definitely been a target for the Qataris, for QSI, for the PSG organization to find continental success, to find success in Champions League, and this is the furthest that they've gotten. But really, you could see the depth or the vast difference in experience between the two organizations. That's really what I think won it for Bayern today. That ability to know what to do in this sort of situation, to have that winning mentality and pull off that 1-0 win. So for what it's worth, I thought it was going to be a high-scoring game, 3-2, 4-3, something along those lines.
Yeah. Yeah, and these are really good points. Don, what are your thoughts on Neymar? We talked about this before, that he's a baller. Like he's an amazing player, a lot of talent, but at the big stage, even he did get assists in the semis and quarters, but like at the big stage, he just misses those chances. Like we saw that throughout the knockout. Right. Is it just luck, or is there something there, like mentality wise, or something else?
It's he's one of those guys, like I told you before as well, right? He's so frustrating because you know that the talent is there, but like when he doesn't finish, it's just so unfortunate. Like this was the most important chance for him to really come up and show that he's arrived, because um, he doesn't have what the likes of Ronaldo and Messi have in terms of like winning their teams Champions Leagues and Premier Leagues and stuff like that. I mean, the Premier League, they've been winning for some time, but they don't really have that much competition in the French league, right? So this was the most important chance, and he came short again. I mean, it like you said, I mean, like Zoe mentioned, there was Bayern were deserving winners. They came out pretty strong, but there were chances that PSG and especially Neymar and Mbappe could take, and Neymar especially could take, and we've seen that, like you said, all throughout the knockouts. It's just been that last, like he has not been able to finish. So all the trickery and everything that he's doing comes to nothing if he's not able to finish in those important moments, and like the Champions League final, of course, is one of those most important moments. So he needs to go back to the drawing board. He needs to see how he can finish those chances. All the trickery, all that is great, but you need to finish those chances.
That's how Ronaldo kind of developed his game. He was a showboat when he started, and then he just became clinical. And like these are the sort of games where he thrives.
Exactly.
Like we saw him under Real Madrid, even in Manchester United, he scored in the Champions League final. So this is where he thrived. Like this is what Neymar needs to develop and needs to improve on.
Yep, absolutely. He needs to make up more clinical. I think he's probably got more than what Ronaldo has had when he was all the trickery and all of that. He's like we said, he's so filthy, and sometimes he's just so nice to watch, so pleasing to the eye. But if you're not going to finish after all of that, then there's no real point, So you just need to finish. If he can add that element to his game, which is an important element, of course, but if he can add that element to his game, I think he'll be unstoppable.
Yeah. Yes, but you can go ahead.
And I just want to compare Neymar to someone like Thomas Muller, someone who was effectively down in the dumps. I think they put him on the transfer market last season or the season before, and no one bought him. And then he's come back, and they play a similar position in both teams. I think Muller on the right, Neymar on the left, or he floats. But the precision with which Muller plays, like he's the opposite. Zero flair, but complete substance. Like he puts the ball on the plate, the runs that he makes, he's reinvented himself. And he's someone who has had world stage success at a younger age, and that experience made him so calm in a match like this. Like it was nothing for Muller. It was just like another final and stuff like that. So I just want to shout out someone like Muller, and the difference between Neymar and him, like the opposite of showboating. So
yeah, that's an excellent point. I was actually gonna go to Zoe with a question similar, like related to this. We saw like in the semis when PSG won, like they were like celebrating like they won the World Cup, and like which is fine, like they're excited and everything, and they taunt the other players. They're like a bit young, but like Bayern Munich on the other hand, like Lewandowski, Muller, these guys were just chilling, like sitting at on the what do you call it, the dugout and just chilling there after the semis, and then even the finals they did celebrate everything, but they looked more mature. So like was that a difference as well, just like the mentality going into the game? Like probably they took less pressure because they have a more like their mentality is just go there and win it. They don't look at like what's going to happen or anything like that.
Mate, there's levels to this. There's levels to this game, man. And you know what? We got to see the difference between the level of a team like Bayern and the level of a team like PSG. Like when you think about it, man, all these super clubs, all these top level clubs, Bayern, PSG, City, Barca, Madrid, whatever, financially speaking, they all have incredible wealth, incredible power. They have the ability to go out and get pretty much any player. Like these are clubs that have executed 200 million, 100 million plus pound, euro, whatever currency you're working in, trades or transfers without a second thought. I want Neymar, let's go get Neymar, let's go pay whatever. But I think that Bayern definitely has that pedigree and that experience that really allowed them to be calm, cool, and collected in a situation like a final. Even if this was a technical final, man. 1-0, 1-0 is not a lead. It's something that can disappear in any moment. Any moment. All it takes is one wayward shot, one sort of like slip in concentration, and that's it. You're back to being a tie game. It's not a buffer or anything like that. But I think the way Bayern were able to achieve that lead and hold on to it really showed that that difference in maturity. You saw how frustrated Neymar was getting.
Yeah.
He was trying to do his thing. He's dribbling, he's trying to get past players, and he's not being able to do it. And
his touches were really poor in the second half. He
lost
possession like 5-6 times, and those were crucial times to lose possession.
That's it. So it's like a question of composure, right? It's like, all right, you've got these one guys on the German side that have been here, done this. Muller's been there, played in some big games. Muller is a baller. Lewandowski is a baller. So all these guys know what's going on. So even though it's a tense situation, they're maintaining that composure. They have faith in themselves and their ability to be like, yeah, you know what, we got this. And then PSG, the talent is definitely there, but maybe there's just that little chip in their armor. It's the first time they're getting to the final. They're not 100% confident in themselves, and that sort of doubt can creep in, and it compounds itself. And when it rains, it pours. Right? You're trying to do all these things, and it doesn't come off, and you just get more and more upset with yourself.
Yeah, excellent points.
And just one more thing to build off what Zohar is saying. If you want to capture what he's talking about, the difference between the two teams in terms of composure, like one moment, I think, I forget if Neymar or Mbappe was offside, and they still try to get the goal, and Neuer had like one of the most excellent saves. Like typical Neuer. He came full, made himself big, spread, and then even though I think he leaned his body to the left, his leg was out on the right, and he stopped it. It was offside, but it's like, you can't even get me on an offside call. Like, that's how big Neuer was yesterday, right? And it brought back that old Neuer. It was Mbappe.
Like, shut up, bro. Shut up. Get out of here,
It feels like Bayern has kind of recovered from that little phase they're having last season or the season before when they were not clearly number one. And it's not like they bought big players. They brought in people like Gnabry, and Gnabry's not a huge player. Like, no offense, Don. Like, he wasn't anything in Arsenal. Okay?
Mate. It will be, right. That's what they kept instead of Gnabry. It will be. So we'll ask him how it's going.
I'm telling you though. He was offered a contract. There's official evidence of that. I will send it to you guys. He was offered a contract. He decided to go to Bayern because Bayern came calling. Fair enough.
Yeah.
I'm not saying we let him go. He wanted to go. You can't stop a player when you want to go.
I digress.
You definitely didn't try to stop him.
Hats off to Gnabry. He had a great season with Bayern. So
my brother is like reading my mind. My next question was, you've already answered it, but my next question was, Don. So Gnabry left Arsenal to Bayern to win the Champions League, right?
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I'm not gonna fight it, right? I mean, of course, Arsenal's not in the Champions League right now.
Arteta's at the wheel, bro. Arteta's at the wheel.
That's what I'm saying, man. We're coming there. We're getting there.
Bro, Arteta's gonna win the Champions League in 3 years. That's why I got William. That's 3-year contract. What you know about
I'm
that?
telling you, man. It's gonna happen in 3 years. Watch.
Yeah.
And then we'll have in 3 years' time we'll have this part again, and I'll knock it off. You guys can go ahead right now.
Yeah.
Man, I'm telling you, Don writes everything down and files it in. On this day, the guy said this to me.
I have like a book.
But sorry, you wanted to finish your point, or you got your point through?
No, it's just like that kind of moment. It was a representation of kind of Bayern saying, "Yo, we got this. We're the bosses of this tournament. Like, we're clearly the better team. Like, even on an offside, you can't get past us." And I think it's the first time in a long time where Bayern haven't had like necessarily a star player. They have a lot of star players. I'm not saying that, but it's not like that feeling that, Mbappe and Neymar, right? It's like two big stars. They're like, Di Maria is a great player, but he's, you don't think of him like that. Bayern is.
I still remember that celebration at Old Trafford.
We shall not mention his
He
name.
deserved it.
That Judas.
But sorry, Neuer also, like, a few players have kind of old Bayern players who were kind of struggling previously. They're also at they've reached the peak again, which is not easy to do. Like, Neuer was criticized in the past, Muller was criticized in the past. You have a young superstar in Joshua Kimmich who's like really versatile, excellent player. So I think it could be that period again from like maybe 5 years ago where Bayern will dominate Europe for another few seasons. So yeah.
I think a lot of that has to do with the mindset. Just to add to Yusuf's point, just like and like Zoe mentioned, right? A lot has to go to the coaching staff. They've really come out there. Hansi Flick, he's been so good to kind of just turn things around for this team. When they were kind of looking down, the chips were down a little bit, but he turned it around very well. So hats off to that. And a little bit about a nice mix of youth and experience in this team with the likes of Davies, Gnabry, Kimmich, these youngsters really coming through the ranks, and they have the great stalwarts like the Mullers and the Lewandowskis and the Neuers who kind of use the experience, and so this is a nice gelling team that has a good experience of there's good experience there. There's a lot of good youth coming through, so that's helped this team, and this is like Yusuf mentioned. They have the capability to dominate for the next few seasons as well in the Champions League.
Yeah, would you put the Davis up there with the likes of Robertson as left back?
He showed very, very good talent this season, especially.
And he was very composed in the final as well. Like
Absolutely.
no signs of nervousness.
That I will never forget that pass that he gave in the Barca 8-2 game. He just completely like took the ball right from the middle of the pitch. He took it down. He went through the corner flank and just passed it in so beautifully for that finish. It was just, I mean, that's one of that.
You know what it was? It's Bale vibes when Bale was playing as a fullback.
Yeah.
So when Bale was skinning guys, that's what I get from Davies.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, but that's exactly what that's just exactly what he looks like. He's just and he has a capability to go up and like play in the left wing as well. Like if eventually maybe in his career he has that capability and he can really turn out to be the kind of guy that Bale has been. I mean, he has a lot of potential. I'm excited to see how this one.
Just a side note on Davies. Davies actually, I think, listen, don't quote me on this. It's not gospel. I'm hearing it from a friend's friend. So, take it with some salt. But he used to play winger. He's originally a winger. He's originally a forward player. And Bayern had the, good, vision or good fortune to decide to play him as a fullback. And that's why we're getting to see this crazy hybrid attacking talent where he's got so much pace. He's fantastic defensively. He's good on the ball. And he's bombing up front. And, it's just that vision to be like, oh, you're a winger? Cool, you're going to play fullback for us.
Yeah, I think that's the way to go. Like Liverpool proved it this season. Like you have attacking fullbacks. Like, defensively, Trent and Robertson, you could criticize them. Maybe, but but the thing is, like, going forward is a crucial thing, especially because the space that they create going forward, it's a big thing. And I think this is the way to go. Like, if you want to build a team, you need to concentrate on the fullbacks.
Yeah. A lot has to do with fullbacks in modern football. Sorry, Yusuf, just to cut you off. A lot has to do with modern football in terms of the fullbacks and the kind of versatility that they can give you moving forward. The teams like Liverpool have been so successful because
we saw City do that as well, right, with Guardiola. Yeah,
and they do that a lot. And Liverpool has been so successful because Trent and Robertson have been so effective for them. And that's something that a lot of the teams are also trying to pursue. And you guys can, of course, say, and Hassan Bhai in the pod mentioned about the fullbacks. And you guys, if you had Luke Shaw, there's a good chance you would have probably beat Sevilla as well, right?
Yeah.
In terms of the inexperience that you had over there and things like that. I mean, there's a lot we can discuss about that, but I think that is important. And Davies shows that kind of potential to be right up there amongst the likes of Robertson for sure. Yeah.
For sure, that's an excellent point. Yeah, but you're saying something?
Just I'll follow up on something that Don said, and I'll ask a question regarding United and like the Luke Shaw thing. It's like there's a moment in yesterday's game. I don't know which half it was in. It might have been the second half where Bayern, they were at the edge of the box pushing towards the goal, and I think they did a passing move that was in 4 or 5 passes, but it would happen within 2 minutes, like puck, right? And it's like the end was, I think, Davies giving a crossover, and they missed the goal, or it didn't happen, right? That's when you have a high caliber team, when they're so confident that they're moving the ball to 5 different players in the space of less than 2 or 3 seconds, right? And compare that with United, we're very slow on the ball. Like many other teams, we're not at that elite level. I've just noticed in modern football, the faster you're on the ball, that kind of is a reflection of at what level you're at, right? Your ability to not just like hold the ball, but like move it so fast and get it to actually like progress. And my question was that, is David Alaba playing left center back now, or was he on the pitch?
No, the
Left
So they're
side.
play-
Alaba center back. Alaba center back.
He
Man.
played
So this
pretty
is-
well as well. Yeah, he played pretty well
so
as well.
they were playing 3-5-2 kind of thing.
No. So basically, I don't know if they're playing 3-5-2. Sorry, Musti, I cut you off. So
No.
basically, Hansi Flick came in, and he converted Alaba into a center back. Alaba was playing your regular left back role that we've always known him to play for Bayern, but he got switched round to a center back, and that's where they were able to play Davies and Kimmich as fullbacks instead. So you have Boateng and you have Alaba as your center backs, and then you have Kimmich and you have Davies on either flank as your fullbacks, as the guys bombing up and down. So playing Alaba was a tactical switch. It wasn't just like for this game. It was an actual like, hey, you know what? We're gonna shift you in to a position that that you can play, because Alaba can play that position. It's just we haven't seen it. And I think playing him as a center back was a stroke of genius, because it gives you this quickness, the sharpness in your center back pairing that you wouldn't get with, let's say, Nicolas Sule or Javi Martinez or Boateng, no matter how good they are as one-on-one defenders.
Yeah. Fair enough. Just to round things off, I would go for you guys. What do you guys think who was the hit of the final and the flop of the final? Donna, I'll go with you first.
The hit of the final. This is the flop of the final has to be Neymar.
Yeah.
He did not finish for me, unfortunately.
Mbappe close second, huh?
He also had a very, very good chance.
Man, that chance was Greenwood would have buried that, man.
Vince.
Yeah, that chance, like I really expected him to score that. Like,
seriously, it's just so unfortunate. I mean, that he didn't finish that. Mbappe is one of my favorite players. So that's not an Arsenal player. It's sad to see that one not go through. But hit of the season, it's just that Bayern Munich team played so well throughout. Like, it's just so hard for me to pick one player. And since it has to be the final, I'm just gonna give it to Koeman because he scored the goal. I don't know.
yeah.
It's just,
If you look at the whole season, there's Lewandowski, there's Gnabry, there's
exactly.
Alphonso Davies. But I think for the finals, that's a good shout.
Yeah.
So you're going with Koeman.
Yeah, because he scored the goal.
Yeah, and Zohair?
So I'm going to bring out all the hate that I've had bottled up, and I think that Di Maria flopped hard.
No, he did miss that chance, but he did create some good chances as well in the first half.
He did create some good chances, but I feel that Di Maria is so integral to when PSG plays well.
Yeah.
He brings so much to their team. He brings so much to their game. He brings a lot of incision. And I think that yesterday, or whatever we're, portraying this game to have been, but during the final, I don't know. There was just a little bit missing. He wasn't able to get into the pockets of space that he usually exploits. He wasn't able to create those link-up opportunities that he usually creates. And I think that he's a big reason. Him and Leandro Paredes. Leandro Paredes controls the play from the back for PSG when he does play. So if you shut down these guys, these are your respectively your midfielder that's furthest back and usually your midfielder that's furthest forward. And if you can shut those guys down, then you're really starving Neymar and Mbappe of service, and you're making Neymar and Mbappe drop down deeper into midfield to pick up the ball, where they're less effective than having them stationed in between the last two lines, in between the mid and the defense. Let them play off the shoulder of the defense, and those guys will be much more dangerous than them having to come deeper into midfield to pick up the ball because you're shutting down PSG's midfield. So that's why I think Di Maria can go and jog on. For me, I from the Bayern side, a lot of great performances, and I think that Koeman is the obvious choice, but just to give you guys a little bit of a different flavor, I'm going to bring out my man Manuel for turning in a vintage performance, taking up the entire goal and not letting anything past him. Because I'll be honest, man, I'd written Neuer off. Hadn't seen him in a little while. And there was just all these other keepers that were flashier, that were more hype right now, and it's just nice for Neuer to come in, just stomp all over everybody, and be like the king is back.
Yeah. And Bhaiya, your flop and hit of the final.
You have to jump on the bandwagon. It has to be Neymar and Mbappe because they're so key to PSG. They're combined worth of over 300 million pounds, I think, or euros at least. So it's like, at the big stage, maybe Neymar doesn't. Did he win a Champions League with Barcelona?
Yes.
I'm not sure.
Neymar, yeah.
So he's won a Champions League with Barcelona. Mbappe is a World Cup winner. They have the experience at this level to kind of become the leaders of this team. And while the rest of the members or most of the other members don't have World Cup or Champions League experience at the finals level, these guys are in all aspects of the game the leaders of this team. and they're the most experienced in the situation, so they deserve to get the hate that they got because they were the ones who would have won the game for PSG. And for Bayern, obvious choice is Coman. I was going to say Neuer, so to just add a bit of variety to the conversation, I'm going to say Thomas Muller. He had some really good play in the game. He was fluid. He was passing the ball around. He pops up in the right places at the right time. That's his genius. He's there when you need him. So just for the sake of variety, I'm going to throw in Thomas Muller into the mix.
Yeah. Sorry, Don, you're going to say something?
No, Musti, we need yours as well. Your hit. You have a controversial
like
statement.
Give us a hot take, mate. Give us a hot take.
I think like for PSG, I'll just go with the right back. What's his name? Tito Kehrer. Yeah. Just because like I think it was his mistake for the goal. He should have done better to contain Coman. But yeah, I can't disagree with Neymar or anything like that. And the hit Davies, bro, Canada represent.
Interesting side note.
Sorry.
Interesting side note. So Thilo Kehrer is actually German and Coman is French.
Yeah, and Coman played for PSG for like 11 years, right?
Exactly. Coman played for PSG for 11 years and they never got anything out of him. This guy went to Germany, turned into a baller.
Yeah.
And he came back and he scored the
winning
goal
again. What a way to do that. And just food for thought, Bayern won the Champions League before Guardiola and won it after Guardiola. So whoever picks up Guardiola, this is just a fact for you guys.
Guardiola's a fraud.
It's an interesting fact.
Checkbook manager, mate. Tony Pulis is better.
Yeah.
No. Tony Pulis said that. Tony Pulis said Serge Gnabry is not even Bulls level. So I don't know, man. I'm just telling you.
Yeah, but yeah, I think that we pretty much summed up everything. If you guys want to add some last thoughts, you guys can go ahead. But it was a great discussion. I think we covered most of the points. But yeah, any final thoughts?
Yeah, I got one.
Yeah, so.
I think this Bayern team is going to be killer because this is all without Sane being incorporated into the team.
Oh yeah.
And that's
but Zoe, I still think I don't know what you think about this. I still think I've seen previous Bayern teams which are better and then these guys like in terms defensively. But I don't know. I just feel like I wouldn't say they were lucky, but they could have been punished in a lot of games, especially the finals. They could have been punished, which they weren't. But it wasn't those Barcelona kind of displays. In 2008-9 under Pep.
Yeah, I hear you, man.
You know what I mean? Like they beat Barcelona 8-2, but Barca had chances in that game as well. And then again, PSG had chances. Yeah. So
listen, man,
I wouldn't say it's like the most invincible, but I don't know what you think about this.
For me, look, they play a high line. They definitely play a risky strategy when it comes to defense. If they
give you chances,
they give you chances. If your opposing team can play a good ball in, can pull you out of position either through some intricate triangle-based passing or just a nice, ball over the top, you can take out a whole swath of Bayern's defense and leave them open. And you saw that in the Barcelona game. It's just a matter of a team being able to take advantage of that. And so far this year, you didn't really see that. But there is a way to beat them. It's just a matter of exploiting that, those weaknesses, those openings. Let's see if someone's able to do that on a consistent basis. Because if they can play the way that they do, they cover for that weakness to a pretty fair extent.
For sure. And if you don't punish, if you don't take your chances, they'll punish you for sure. So
exactly.
Yeah. But
do you guys think that Dortmund has a chance next season to beat them in the league, or they're just ahead of Dortmund?
No, man, no. It's sad, bro. Because someone was talking about none of us, but just talking about Bayern is so so frugal in the transfer market. They spend so little, and yes, they do spend so little, but that's because all the ballers in the German league wait for their contracts to run out and move on a free to Bayern. So how much of it is
some deal with Dortmund, man? I don't know what it is, but Lewandowski,
crazy.
All these guys, they go to Bayern.
Even Hummels Hummels as well.
Yeah, for peanuts. It's not like they're paying millions and millions.
Exactly. So it's how much of that is just that the German league is pretty much Bayern than everyone else.
Yeah.
So if you want to win, you got to go to Bayern. And how much of it is actually Bayern being this, super savant, just sitting in the shadows, crazy trader in the football market. I just wonder about that because it's just so many players just get up and be like, you know what, let me move to Bayern on a free. Let me move to Bayern for 5 mil as opposed to 60 mil, 50 mil, 70 mil, the crazy numbers that you get thrown around for some of these guys, the talent that they have.
Yeah.
I think from an economics perspective, I think what you're saying regarding like the players waiting to go and they just go on the free, I think the threat of that kind of doesn't let other clubs bully Bayern around and they don't charge those fees. Whereas maybe if it's like in other leagues, they don't have that kind of like pull. So it's like they're like, okay, we can charge exorbitant rates because if we don't, someone else will put up the money. Whereas within the German league, it's like, okay, fine, you want to charge us 50, we'll just wait to get it for free, for example, or 100.
Yeah.
So I think the German league economics are very typical European. It's like there's no high end like crazy purchases in the German league. I think the transfer record isn't that high historically. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I have two slightly unrelated notes though. I just thought I should bring it up. First is Tony Poulos said Stoke, not at Wolves. I don't know how Wolves came out from there, but it was Stoke's. He said,
Is it Stoke or West Brom? West Brom.
It's West Brom. West Brom.
Never mind. West Brom.
Donald, baby.
Yeah. Never mind.
Don't take that L, man.
And the second one is you guys enjoy this weekend while we play the Community Shield. I mean, you guys wouldn't understand what it takes. You need silverware to play Community Shield, you know?
Community Shield
So
is
it's
this
sort
week?
of like, yeah, it's this
Oh,
weekend.
yo, let me ask you a question. What wonderful foreign destinations have you booked for your European tour? Are you guys playing in Lithuania? Are you guys playing in Azerbaijan? Where are you going, man? Where are you going?
Well, on that note, I'd like to call it a day. Thanks. And if you can turn.
Just one last question. I just want a quick yes or no, and then we'll wrap it up. Do you Mbappe and Neymar, one of those two, are they leaving PSG this summer? Yes or no? Don.
No.
But yeah, one of the two or both. Like one of the two. I don't think both will go, but yeah, one of the two.
not this season, perhaps.
Zoe.
No, I don't think this season.
Mbappe to Madrid. You heard it here first.
Oh,
It's a good-
We end on
Fabrizio
a hot
Romano.
take.
Fabrizio Romano.
It's a lucky guess, but like, let's see how that goes. But thank you so much for joining me. It was an excellent pod today. We covered most of the points and hope to see you guys soon and be ready for the next season. We'll do some previews as well. And take care. Have a good night.
Yep. Cannot wait. Take care. Bye-bye.
Take care, guys.